Paul, right. Um, you know, um, as I said, I really have no idea what's going on out there because nobody communicates with me. So whatever effect I might be having, that's something you'll have to work through. See, I responded to the dissolution of marriage, and I never got any documentation after that. Now, well, I would say since August of 2012 and it's 2019, yeah. I had no idea the actual grades of my sons. I mean, once in a while I could Google their names, but I did not try to contact them. And I didn't realize that they were 2 grades behind where they should be at. Well, when I found that out, then I got upset as a father because my sons are not going to graduate at 19 and a half years old. Not going to happen. So that leaves us with what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to remove your dissolution of marriage because you never gave me notice of court hearings. You never gave me any of the actual signed documents of the petitioner. You never gave me the dissolution of marriage. Now, for every time that I find any forgery, yes, fraud, mm, I'm going to sue you, the state, as well as every state of the United States for having knowledge of the dissolution of marriage where none of my actual rights were protected. Now, for every year that my sons have been in the wrong grade, yes. For all the years that they were in the wrong grades, yeah. You're getting sued for abusing them, pooch, for molesting them. Now, I know that when I mention these decrees of the court, yes, as an interested party, you would say, well, motion the court, but you never gave me a dissolution of marriage. Oh, there is no reason for me to motion a court, yes, that did not give me any court order known as the dissolution of marriage. You don't give it to me. How can I motion the court? You don't give me notice of court hearings. You want me to motion a court that never gave me a dissolution of marriage. Well, it's been 7.5 years, right? Now, I sent you an email today, civil rights coordinators in public schools. Yes. And you're right. I'm suing you. I'm suing you for not protecting my religious rights as a father to have my sons educated in the Christian, yes, way that I want to have them educated. I'm suing you for being de facto accessories to the issuance of a dissolution of marriage that I never received because I was always available to receive it. And then there's the big question of technology. Last night, yeah, I'm going to want the communities, yes, of all of the employees that are employed in the installation of technology in every school where there's a civil rights coordinators right now. And then I'm going to want to know, is there any magnetism in there? See, the Facebook post, it implied, yes, that I was not aware of the influence of technology in today's world. Yes, but that's not it. See, my wife had introduced my sons to technology in ways that a lot of parents don't experience. Pooch. I think the removing of them from the public school district because public school coordinators, yes, do not enforce the laws. Poop. And you don't enforce my religious right to teach my sons the way that I wanted them. Now, as you read this email, it is in the interest of the court and in the interest of justice that the court remove their fraud and give me custody of my sons. Without the actual documentation of the court hearings, yes, without any signed documentation from my wife that she admitted to the court, without a dissolution of marriage and without a valid marriage certificate that you could dissolve, how the can I dissolve? I'm going to want to use the court system of the United States. Now, today I started with some pictures, yes, because I didn't get to speak to this woman, Marilyn Van Proyen. Yes, I'm wanting to sue that woman. Marilyn's husband, Rotary, and the police departments, and then, of course, any involvement in any outside organization where you think it's okay to fraudulently use the name of somebody or their image. Now, you can see as a respondent, I put it in gold today. Yeah. That I'm an interested party to the protection orders and the dissolution of marriage. Oh, there's an obligation for the court to correct their decrees. Yes, it is not my obligation as a named party to motion the court that never obligated me to have a dissolution of marriage. I think that was an obligation of the court. It was your obligation to make sure that I received notice of court hearings. Yes, that you would have obligated the petitioner to make sure that she did give me every document that she admitted to the court as the reasoning for the dissolution of marriage. But when you didn't, when you said, well, he's crazy, now you're getting sued as a party to every court hearing, the named respondent. You're going to have to remove your court decrees because I can't motion the court to have the dissolution of marriage removed. Yeah. I don't have a copy of it. You're going to have to remove the dissolution of marriage that I never received. Oh, and you didn't have a valid marriage certificate because the United States, yes, every state, to be able to dissolve, and I never received notice of hearings or any of the signed documents that were admitted to the court to allow for having court hearings. Now, this is kind of a big picture thing, okay? It has been held that in cases of fraud, misrepresentation, or mistake. Now, there's probably should be a comma right there. Relief must be granted by a court by the correction of its decrees. You have an obligation to correct your decree because you never obligated me to be in court. I think they forgot a comma there, or maybe a semicolon. Yes. In the interest of justice. And under some authorities, a judgment procured. That means that you got a judgment, yes, through the use of fraud, the collusion of Healthy Families of Clallam County to have my wife motion the court for a default dissolution of marriage. Deceit, intentionally saying that you sent it to me when you didn't send it to me, yes, when you did not require personal service. Poop. Deceit or mistake. Now, was it a mistake that I didn't get a copy of it, or you just thought I was going to pay child support for the rest of my life? May be modified at any time on a proper showing by the party injured. Now, this idea of me motioning the court and showing the court that I'm injured when you say I'm crazy, right? You've arrested me multiple times. See, I wasn't in Sequim. Yes. You had the actual evidence. Pooch. I wasn't in Brennan, but you wouldn't admit the evidence. Yes. I didn't get actual notice of court hearings before you issued the protection order. You as the court, you've been shown that I'm being injured. My sons are being injured. Marilyn and her family. This county, Jefferson County, this state, every county of this state, every state of the United States, and each and every county of those states, and the United States of America is being injured. Now, there's a lot of parties to these lawsuits because of the obstruction of justice right now. However, the right of a court to modify its judgment is not limited to a showing that it was procured by fraud, collusion, or misrepresentation, but it is sufficient if there is a showing that the rights of interested parties are prejudicially affected by the judgment. As in, you're prejudiced against me? Yeah. Could be multiple reasons for that. Yes. You could have been bribed. You could have been paid for shows. Yes. You could have known of the twins and lookalikes that signed forgeries. Yes. You could have been prejudiced because of Elmer and Berna Holes. Yes, my great-grandparents. You could have been prejudiced because of my grandma Clara. Married some guy named Sinclair. Yes, you could have been prejudiced from my other aunts and uncles that are not my actual biological aunts and uncles because I don't think that they're the actual genetics of my grandma Clara Holes. Yes. You could have been prejudiced because of my one-legged father, Paul Douglas Budnick, that would have probably told the sheriff to take your badge off. So get your fucking ass right now. You could have been prejudiced for multiple reasons. multiple.